Hey guys, hope everything is going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Let's get to 200 subscribers. All right, so I wanted to touch base on what I think is going to happen this new year in 2023. I'm recording this on New Year's Eve. But I wanted to wish, first of all of you a happy new year. Hopefully, this year is going to be a great year. And I want to see what, or I just wanted to think out loud what's going to happen. All right. So, this past year in 2022, pretty much everything tanked, maybe except the US dollar. Like everything went down: sports cards, crypto, stock market, the list goes on and on and on. So, what does the new year hold? I've stated over a year ago that the price of high end cards would probably be going down because of the Federal Reserve. Now, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates much more than I expected. Now, what I see this year, though, is they may raise rates a little bit, but it's not going to be to that extent of last year. The higher interest rates, in my opinion, was one of the reasons that killed the high end sports cards, and also the ensuing recession that did as well. Now we're at a point where I'm thinking, okay, they're not going to raise rates that much. They're going to pause, and that pause should lift all markets higher. What I also noticed last year is that the Bitcoin bros, some of those guys were involved in sports cards. So if their crypto starts to go up in value, are they going to blow it more on cards? If their stock portfolios go up, are they going to blow it more on cards? Because if they feel good, they have more money in their accounts, they may blow money on high end cards. So that's what I expect happening. Compared to year over year, it's a complete difference of what I'm saying. And some people are saying, "Oh, we're negative this, negative that." No, I look at markets from an unbiased point of view. Right? Just because you may follow one school of thought doesn't mean that you have to look explicitly at the market in that type of way. And that's what the mistake people look at. And I think there are a lot of people that use emotion rather than logic in coming to their conclusions. And I think that's a huge problem, not only in sports cards, but in our society in general. People need to use more logic. All right. And when I do my videos, some of these YouTubers come after me because I speak my mind. And some of them hold back. That's the difference. I tell you what I think. They're not telling you what they completely think because they don't want to offend anyone. They don't want to offend their potential sponsor or their sponsor. So that's what it's all about, guys. Over here on this channel, I speak my mind, and if you don't like it, you can go elsewhere, right? That's just how it is here. The other thing I wanted to touch base on is some trends that I see in collectibles and other sports cards as well. So, in terms of bankruptcies, I would not be surprised if we see a few bankruptcies this year. I mean, during the reset, maybe in a few years, that's where I think you're going to see many bankruptcies happening, especially when Fanatics is going to take over. So you have these companies like Investacard. Now I have to be careful what I'm saying. I haven't seen too much activity from Investacard. Now, just because I haven't seen too much activity, it doesn't mean that they stopped doing business. I've seen some Instagram stories where I think they're still accepting business, okay? But I think the higher the interest rates are, I believe that this could potentially hurt businesses like that. Now, if we have a very swift and strong recovery, then you could throw out, my thought process. But, I think it's M&T Trading. He was just asking questions about, hey, where has this business been? And I'm sure that some people are not following through on paying back Investacard. So when I'm thinking of that's just one business model that may have issues, but if the market recovers, then that business should be doing fine. Now there could be layoffs. I think what's his name? Inglorious P has talked about layoffs. I would not be surprised if some of these grading companies do have layoffs. I think people will be submitting cards, but not obviously to the extent that was done before. Now, PSA has definitely found ways to make money besides sports cards and TCG. They started grading Funko Pops. We just sent out a few Funko Pops the other day. We're going to get them and we're probably going to resell those just from a speculative point of view. And speaking of toys, this is just as a disclosure, right? Just because my wife does sell certain collectibles, including pops, including sports cards, including some comic books here and there. I believe that people are going to be putting money more into the toy sector, potentially vintage toy sector. And this is one of the few times that I agree with the Great Curator. Now, Great Curator is looking at Gary Vee, right? Gary Vee has found this through his analysis and his trends. And now, what has picked up during the pandemic, right? Price wise. So, sports cars, people were blowing money on sports cars. They were blowing money on shoes. They were blowing money on other collectibles as well. And like Marvel comic books. Now, what really hasn't seen the crazy hype? It's like the toy sector. Now, the thing is, the vintage toy sector with like the Star Wars from the 1970s in high mint condition, those always have a strong sale, even during a down economy, because you rarely see it up for sale. So that's what I'm noticing. Okay, we get lowering of interest rates potentially, or the pause. So where will these guys go? Right? They're obviously going to go into the high end sports cars. That's my opinion. They're going to go into high end comic books. Could be going into high end video games as well. And there's still a lot of money sloshing around with these private equity guys. There's fractionals, right? I've heard that some of these Star Wars cards, they're going to be sent via fractionals. That's just a word on the street that I've been given. So that's when, some people are saying, "Oh, there's going to be strong sales of Star Wars." Well, there probably will be if fractionals are getting involved with it. So I think fractionals are going to be part of the reason to see a pump up in all collectibles markets, in my opinion. And I believe that some people are going to blow crazy amount of money on Funko Pops, right? It sounds crazy, but if grading is involved, right? Just try to be unbiased. You're going to see a bump up in prices. Now, if people start to chase that, and you have more supply, then guess what? Prices will then go down like sports cards. I mean, CSG is going to be grading Funko Pops as well. So just to throw that out there. The other thing I want to think about is content creation. Do I believe content creators are going to do videos as much? They'll do videos. I see some people have taken a break. Some people have left. Like Brad, the comeback card guy, he left. And I think if you start to see prices come back up, you're going to see these guys and gals do more content to flex, right? I haven't seen Sasha T do videos. I know he's on Instagram. One time he responded to one of my comments. It was actually about him, about like the Durant sale, I think in February and March of 2021. But I believe some of these guys are going to come back once the prices resume to the upside. That's just my opinion. So you'll see more of that, but nothing like 2020. That was crazy, right? It's good to see more content creation, in my opinion, right? Flipper, collector, dealer, whatever you are. So that's that. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you see happening in terms of the sports card market? Right? If you see a high-end sports card, you saw Mickey Mantle, what, SGC 9.5? Yeah, those are going to hit record high sales, right? There's a limited amount. We live in a chaotic society, and on top of it, Collectibles Arena has seen an influx of cash. So high end is going to remain strong. It's going to help with the pause of these interest rate hikes, which I believe is going to happen. Wanted to hear your thoughts, guys. Anyways, guys, remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.